You just bought a home. You have homeowners insurance. You feel safe. Your agent told you that you are covered for pretty much everything. But here is the number that should make you lose sleep. 60% of homeowners believe their policy covers flood damage. It does not. 40% believe they are covered for mold. They are not. And 20% think their policy will pay for a sewer backup. Wrong again. That is not a small gap. That is a canyon. And the average claim for sewer backup alone is over $25,000. By the time you find out what is not covered, it is too late. Your basement is flooded, your foundation is cracked, or your jewelry is gone. And your insurance company sends you a letter that begins with 3 words that will ruin your year. This is not covered. By the end of this video, you will know the 7 most shocking things that your homeowner's insurance does not cover, even though most people assume they do. I will tell you exactly what each exclusion means, why the insurance company refuses to pay, and how you can get covered for the things that matter. You will learn about flood insurance, earthquake coverage, mold, sewer backup, termite damage, home business liability, and ordinance or law upgrades. This is not a list of obscure technicalities. These are everyday disasters that happen to real people, and they are almost always excluded. Let me start with the #1 thing people get wrong: flood damage. Your standard homeowner's insurance policy does not cover flood damage. Not at all. A flood is defined as water coming from outside your home, like a river overflowing, heavy rain saturating the ground, or a storm surge. If you live in a flood zone and you do not have separate flood insurance, a single inch of water in your basement can cost you over $25,000 in damage. The federal government runs the National Flood Insurance Program, or you could buy private flood insurance. Do not wait for a weather alert. Flood insurance has a 30-day waiting period. Now here is the pattern interrupt that most people do not know. The second most common exclusion is earthquake damage. If you live in California, you probably know this. But earthquakes happen in Oklahoma, Tennessee, and even New York. Your standard policy excludes earth movement. That includes earthquakes, landslides, and sinkholes. You need a separate earthquake policy or an endorsement. The cost depends on your location and the age of your home. In low-risk areas, it might be cheap. In high-risk areas, it is essential. The third thing that is not covered is mold damage. Mold is tricky. Your policy may cover mold if it is caused by a covered peril, like a burst pipe. But if the mold is caused by neglect, like high humidity or a slow leak you did not fix, they will deny the claim. Many policies have a dollar limit for mold remediation, often $1,000 to $5,000. A full mold cleanup can cost tens of thousands. The best defense is prevention. Fix leaks immediately. Use dehumidifiers, and check your policy for mold limits. If the limit is too low, ask about an endorsement. The 4th exclusion is sewer backup. Water that comes up through your drains is not covered unless you have a specific rider. A sewer backup can happen when heavy rain overwhelms the municipal system or when tree roots clog your pipes. The damage is disgusting and expensive. A rider typically costs $40 to $80 per year. That is nothing compared to the cost of a cleanup. The 5th thing that is not covered is termite and pest damage. Insects, rodents, and other pests are considered maintenance issues, not sudden losses. The insurance company expects you to prevent and treat infestations. If termites eat your floor joists or mice chew through your wiring, you pay out of pocket. Regular inspections and treatments are your only defense. The 6th exclusion is home business liability. If you run a business from your home, your standard policy will not cover business equipment, business liability, or business interruption. If a client slips on your porch and sues, your homeowner's insurance might deny the claim because the injury happened during business activities. You need a home business endorsement or a separate business owner's policy. Even selling products online or having a home office can trigger exclusions. The seventh thing is ordinance or law coverage. If your home is damaged and needs repairs, your local building code may require upgrades. For example, if your roof is damaged and you need to replace it, the code might require new hurricane straps or insulation. Your standard policy will not pay for those upgrades. You only get the cost to rebuild as it was before the damage. Ordinance or law coverage is an add-on that pays for the extra cost of bringing your home up to code. It is cheap and essential. Let me give you a real-world example of someone who was not covered. A family in Tennessee had a pipe burst in their upstairs bathroom. Water flooded the walls and floors. They filed a claim. The insurance company paid for the water damage. But 3 weeks later, mold started growing. The insurance company denied the mold claim because the family had not dried the area quickly enough. They ended up paying $15,000 out of pocket for mold remediation. If they had understood their policy, they would have hired a water damage restoration company immediately and documented the drying process. Now let me give you an example of getting it right. A couple in Florida added flood insurance, sewer backup coverage, and ordinance or law coverage to their homeowner's policy. A hurricane dropped 12 inches of rain in 2 days. Their street flooded, and water seeped into their ground floor. Their standard policy would have paid nothing, but because they had flood insurance, they received $120,000 for repairs. The sewer backup rider covered the cleanup from the toilet overflow, and the ordinance coverage paid for upgrading their electrical panel to code. They were fully protected. Now let me also talk about the UK and Canada. In the UK, homeowners insurance is called buildings and contents insurance. The same exclusions apply. Flood damage is often excluded in high-risk areas. You need separate flood cover. Subsidence, which is the UK term for ground movement, is usually excluded. You can buy it as an add-on. In Canada, water damage exclusions are common. Overland flood coverage is separate. Sewer backup is often an optional rider. The same principles apply. Read your policy, ask questions, add endorsements. Here is your action plan. Step 1. Pull out your homeowner's insurance policy. Look for the exclusions section. It is usually titled, "What is not covered?" Step 2. Make a list of the 7 exclusions I mentioned. Check each one against your policy. Step 3. Call your insurance agent. Ask specifically about flood, earthquake, mold, sewer backup, termites, home business, and ordinance coverage. Step 4. Buy the endorsements you need. The cost is minimal compared to the risk. Step 5. If you live in a flood zone, buy flood insurance through the NFP or a private carrier. The waiting period is 30 days. Do not wait. Let me recap the key takeaways. Number 1. Flood damage is never covered by standard homeowners insurance. You need separate flood insurance. Number 2. Earthquakes, landslides, and sinkholes are excluded. You need an earthquake policy. Number 3. Mold is often excluded or capped at a low limit. Prevent mold by fixing leaks quickly. Number 4. Sewer backup is excluded. A rider costs $40 to $80 per year. Number 5. Termites and other pets are your responsibility. Regular inspections are essential. Number 6. Home business liability is excluded. Get a home business endorsement. Number 7. Ordinance or law coverage is excluded. Buy it to cover code upgrades after a loss. Number 8. In the UK and Canada, similar exclusions apply. Check your policy. Here is what I want you to do right now. If you own a home, open your insurance app or find your policy documents. Look for the word flood. If it is not there, Call your agent today. The average flood claim is over $50,000. A flood insurance policy costs a few $100s per year. That is the best return on investment you will ever find. Do not wait for the water to rise. If this video helped you understand the hidden gaps in your homeowner's insurance, hit the like button. It helps more people avoid a devastating surprise. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you do not miss my next video, which is called the one endorsement that every homeowner needs but almost no one buys, and comment below. Have you ever had a claim denied because something was not covered? Share your story. I read every comment. Thanks for watching. Now go check your policy. See you in the next one.